as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Atlanta Falcons. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Mond swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Mond to the air on 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From the 38, Mond. We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver? A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
First down, Falcons.
The first carry now. This is Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. past the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. The ball comes out, and the Vikings pick up the football. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. A give. This is Cook. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On first down, it's Cook. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. Second and 10.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On second down, it's Cook again. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a second and long after the holding call. Here's Mond. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A big play that time through the air. 38 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
First and goal from just inside the 5. They'll run with Cook, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Very short kick taken right at the 20. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, That's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From the end zone comes Chris Claybrooks to return. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
At their own 18-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big connection on that one, 38 yards.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
But we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 30-yard line.
Second and 5. Mon looks to throw. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Now Mon. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
They go play action here. Mon. That is caught by Thielen. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
35-yard line.
54, Mark, 54, Mark. Check, watch 54, watch 54. And I got you.
Mon going to throw it. This is Smith with a grab. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 13-yard line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And the Falcons will take over here at their own 14-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. The 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Falcons. And plays like this, that's exactly why you take a Kyle Pitts with a 4th overall pick. So exciting with the ball in his hands, and he showed it off there.
Yeah, normally when you talk about tight ends, you immediately begin talking about them rumbling down the field. But to me, he was pretty well gliding downfield there. Very athletic for a big man, and he takes this one all the way to pay dirt.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5.
They've got his man complete. And mark him down all the way inside the Atlanta 20. A big play there for Minnesota. Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in
Season
December.
of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And he'll give it here to his running back. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instinct. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
And you're stuck with me in this booth, and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, got the safe completion on 3rd. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielded at the 33. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline? So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Give to Cook out of the gun. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll set up to throw. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Here's Mond. They're going for it.
Dancing to his left. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons' offense at the line. And with decent starting field position, they're maybe only a couple completions away from field goal range. This one swung out to Williams. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 45-yard line.
4 yards remain for second down.
Back to throw here. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. Here's Chris Claybrooks to return.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 28-yard line.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. Now a handoff here to his running back. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now a handoff looking right. Despite the strong run, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Brings up 3rd down.
They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
First down.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
Yeah, this defense as a whole has really been flying to the football all game long. They have not allowed too much of anything, and here's another example. A great play there to get in and disrupt it before it could get going.
And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And his kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Go, go, go. 45 for Mike. 45 for you.
Mond looks to throw on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mond now off of play action. Deep ball for Goodwin. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. Well, he's got one of the strongest arms in the league. Some people may say the strongest, but that can also have a downside occasionally, and here he's intercepted.
Yeah, when we talk about strong arms, being able to throw it deep downfield doesn't necessarily take the strongest. It takes more of the timing type of a quarterback. And it's great to be able to take your shot, but when it hangs up there just a bit too long, you put it in jeopardy. And in this case, that was intercepted.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Dalvin Tomlinson drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter, standing just outside his own goal line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They run, Cook, and they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Now he dumps this off over the middle, and just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this is Cook with a grab. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now on 2nd and 13, Mond. And he slings one that's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. He'll look to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fair catch called for and taken just inside the 10-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of, and in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a fourth-quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Looking to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. He's picked off at his own 46. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
Cook following the penalty. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. A.J. Terrell coming up to make the play. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. No return here for Clay Brooks, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 47 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. He gets away from one. Still going. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Davis. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off the same way.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And they're knocking on the door. 2nd and goal now in a 1-score game. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Down 4 late, got to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Blake Jarwin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons have taken the lead. Important extra point up and through. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 45. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there, and he threw a 5th interception. I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
89 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. And to give this time to the tailback. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Well, without question, when you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward,